I live? Can you check? That's good.
Yeah.
I'm live. Okay. You like cats, don't you? Do you?
Yeah. They're okay.
I don't understand how people can like cats. I don't.
Okay, watch what I just said.
Okay, thanks. Hello. What's up, my friends? Here's your favorite sorcerer, man. Is this a Q&A? Yes, it is a Q&A. You can ask any question that you have in regards to Magick, and besides that, I'm just gonna talk about what's going on, the changes and the things that are happening. As you can see, I'm not sleeping that much in the last couple of days. That's because I'm working nonstop on many things. Actually, I took a nap today, but other than that, for the last 2 weeks, I didn't sleep too much. So many things going on. Okay, let me answer that question first. What do your courses cover? Where would be the best place to start? Okay. My courses cover the following. The courses that I have out right now, they're there's a psychic seduction course. Okay, there's a psychic seduction. What is that? Psychic seduction is essentially you use psychic influence, physical influence to seduce an individual. Okay. Now, if you want to know how psychic seduction works, just ask. Okay, I can definitely explain how that works. And there's also a secrets of manifestation course and all that stuff. In terms of programs, right now I have the Money Magic program that I highly recommend anyone gets on, because you're gonna learn crazy stuff there. Really, amazing stuff there. And my order is also open to anyone who wants to join. Okay. Now, of course, you can't be like. For most people, it will be okay. Some people, of course, will not be able to join because they're just not a good fit. But I'm opening it up for pretty much anyone who wants to, because I want to grow it. Okay. The Order of the Grail of the Serpent has now come into its final form. Now I know how to do it, and it's now open for whoever is ready to join the order. Okay. If you are interested in joining, reach out to me on social media, Facebook fan page of the Grail of the Serpent, as well as my profile. Okay. And you don't have to be advanced. You can be a beginner. And all of that. How much does your Money Magic Mastery program cost? It costs $97 a month, which is nothing. It's literally nothing compared to what you get there. I just had to put a price on it, you see. And I wanted to give everybody access to it, but the problem is the lower you make the prices, the lower the quality of people that you attract, you see. And I don't want to give it out for free. That makes no sense, because then people are not going to use it anyways. And it's also not not okay to give that stuff away for free. You see. I'm interested in self-development and achieving a higher state of consciousness. Then look, my friend, come to the Grail of the Serpent. You're gonna get it there, okay? The Order of the Grail of the Serpent will give you a structured way of awakening your psychic abilities. That's in the beginning, okay? It's a structured way of opening your psychic senses and magical abilities. That's based on Eastern teachings, Western teachings, all of that, right? But the most efficient techniques all in one place. And then you will be introduced to a specific set of entities. Okay, I'm not talking about the usual ones. I'm talking about a certain set of entities that are only being worked with in the Grail of the Serpent or in the Order. And after that, there's a completely different level that I can't talk about here. Okay, but can you elaborate on the Order? See, here's the thing: the Grail of the Serpent is a force that is working on the collective unconscious of humanity. Okay. We have a certain idea about where we want to push the world, and you can't do that with physical means. You got to do that with psychic and spiritual means, okay? And in the collective unconscious, there is something called egregores, okay? Egregores are things that influence the direction of people, and they influence the energetic developments, you see? And if you want to have real impact on where the world goes and what happens in the world, that's how you got to attack, okay? And that's where you have to make changes and put out influence. And the Grail of the Serpent is for that, okay? Has been created for that. And the Order is basically the what's that? The special forces of that activity, if you will, okay? The Grail of the Serpent as a whole is just like an opening for people to hear about it and to learn about that stuff. And then if you come into the Order, you actually do the work with us. Also, when you become a member of the Order, it's not just a training that you get there. You become part of a family and part of a force field. And for instance, if you have a problem in your life that you can't solve yourself, you just let people in the Order know, and then they come together and do group rituals for you, okay? And that's pretty, let's say, I don't know, let's say 100, 200 people come together doing a ritual for you on your behalf, boom. There's no obstacle that's not going to be resolved, okay? Yeah, so I think that sums it up. Can you give an example of psychic seduction? Is it man, woman, or could be any situation like persuasion, etc.? Yes, I can give you an example of psychic seduction. Well, look, it basically works like this. How do I describe it? First of all, let's define what seduction is. Seduction works because everybody craves more, okay? The human condition is essentially where we feel cut off from the world, oftentimes, okay? We ourselves are not enough for ourselves, okay? Everybody craves something. Everybody wants something. I think that's clear, right? Now, seduction in the context of lovers or sexual partners or whatever works in a way where you have to, like, at least the way I see it, the way I perceive it. Of course, if it's just about having sex, all of these things that I'm about to tell you are not necessary. But I'm talking about seduction in a sense where the person becomes yours, you see? The person becomes yours. For that, let's say as a guy, okay, as a guy seducing a girl, you would have to first find out what she's lacking, what does she crave, okay? And you become that in her mind, for instance, okay? What is it that she needs? What is it that she wants? What is it that she craves? Everybody wants something. Everybody needs something. You got to become that. Now, the mind works based on associations, okay? So when you become associated with what she craves, that's when she desires you, okay? Let's say a woman is into fame or whatever. A woman craves fame, okay? Who do you think she's gonna feel attracted to? Is it gonna be Joe Schmo from around the corner, or it's gonna be the producer that has access to TV stations or wherever, you know? You get the idea, you know? So that guy becomes attractive based on what he can provide for her, you see? Now, the point is, though, that this is not a conscious process. She's not consciously thinking of that, okay? Well, some women do that, yes. That they consciously, like, rationally, like, okay, this guy is that. But most don't, okay? For them, it's like an emotion. Okay, so I don't know why I like him. I just feel attracted to him. Okay, so what you have to do as a seducer at that point is you have to communicate to her subconscious mind. Okay, when we communicate with each other, words are a very small percentage. I think like 20% of the actual communication. The remaining 80% are body language, tonality, and of course the energy as well, okay? So when you communicate your message, I think it's even more, it's more than 90% or so. The message that you convey, the message that you send over, which is what communication is. Communication is you have energy and you send the energy over through various means. You could use words. Language is a medium to convey, to send energy over, okay, or various other things, you know, any form of communication sends energy over to the other person. What I'm doing right now is I'm transferring a certain energy over to you, right? Certain energetic quality, right? And you get a taste of my mind. So when you communicate to a person or to that lady at that point, what you want to do is you want to communicate the right things subconsciously, okay? Or the right things to her subconscious. You have some chatter, blah, 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 blah. But at the same time, you got to be able to communicate to the subconscious. Yeah? That would be conversational hypnosis, for instance, what you would do there. But the point is this. Her subconscious needs to begin to associate you with the correct things, okay? That happens neurologically. So she has a neurological pattern. What she craves, okay? I want to be famous. Through your communication, you have to start, for your subconscious communication, you have to associate you with that, with fame. And then, oh, okay, she's going to start craving that. And she's going to see you. She's going to start seeing you through this window, through this lens of desire and attractiveness. You see what I mean? By the way, what I was just doing, guys, actually will cause that subconsciously, because look, you got to communicate in images. If you want to affect the subconscious, you got to communicate in images. And if I draw a lens or a window, you know, that consists of admiration, love, and excitement, and that's what you're looking through, in your subconscious, you are like internally, that has been associated with me right now. You see what I mean? So you're looking at me through a imaginary window of admiration and excitement and love, you see? So there are so many things that you can do through verbal communication in that sense, okay? You can use normal random communication or conversation to hypnotize the person, to completely restructure their subconscious mind so they see you in a certain way. It takes a little bit of practice. It's actually not complicated. The key is using images. You got to use a lot of imagery. Okay, the subconscious thinks in images, and if you are able to communicate in a very visual way, you can hypnotize anyone. Yeah, even just through random communication. Now, that's one thing, one way of doing that. Now we're talking about magic, though. We're talking about psychic stuff. What I did talk about so far was just conversation. You can do the same thing psychically, just through energy. Okay, how? The person carries an aura around them, okay? An aura that is plugged into a dimension of energy that we're all part of. That aura is connected to a person's nervous system, yeah? You can send out certain thoughts. You can influence the energy through your energy. Your aura can influence the energy around a person to the point where they start seeing the world in a way that you want. You can insert your own intentions into their subconscious mind, into their neurology. Their mind is accessible to yours easily. You see? Well, easily, that's a relative term. It takes a little bit of practice and mental control. But if you can do that, you can seduce, you can enter anyone's deepest desires. Absolutely, you can take over somebody's subconscious mind. You know. So that's how it's done. And specifically for seduction, it's called psychic seduction, and that's how it works. Now, to be honest, the course doesn't give you what's the word? The course is good, okay? The course is good. I don't want to downplay it, but there's so much more to say than what I put into that course. So much more to teach about that subject. It's very fascinating and goes very far. But the bottom line is, whatever you can perceive internally, within yourself, whatever you can make real for yourself, you can create. And you can do that for anyone else. Wow, I loved every word of your explanation. My interest is coming back. Thanks. You're welcome. You're welcome. I mean, that's what we all crave. We crave influence, right? And anyone who says they don't crave influence, I think is lying. Honestly, it's hard to believe, because the better you're able to influence the world around you, and that includes people, the better your survival value, or the higher your survival value, right? I mean, we all need that. We're not an island. We live in a world where we have to deal with people, you see, all the time. And in order to survive better, we have to be able to, influence people around us and the world around us. We have to shape it in some way or another, you see. And, there are many different ways on how you can do that. Some people are just so rich that they can do anything based on the money that they have, right? Some people are so famous and influential. Other people are magicians. And they use that to get whatever the fuck they want, you see. But at the end of the day, everybody is looking for influence. That's for sure. Okay. Yeah. Next question. How do you join the order? You gotta reach out to me through Facebook or Instagram. Now we can schedule a call. What do you think of Santa Muerte? What do I think of that? It's an energy that you can work with. That's what I think about it. Hold on. Where would be the best place to start? Do you believe in hell? Yes, I do believe in hell, but not in the way that you probably think it. Look, all of that stuff happens internally, okay? So if you want to leave, if you want to experience hell, you don't have to go into the afterlife to experience it. A lot of people experience hell here on earth. It's a state of mind, it's a state of consciousness. So in that sense, yeah, any frequency exists, and therefore hell is also real. It's a realm that you can experience, but you don't have to die to experience that, you see? Right now, a lot of people are already in hell, okay? And it's basically about your internal experience. By the way, if you want to know where you're going to end up in the afterlife, just check your internal experience. How do you feel? How do you interpret the world? And you're going to know where you're going to end up after after this life. Because it's an energy connection, okay? You're connected to the subtle worlds through your energy and through the frequency that you're on, okay? Hey, Alex, what's up? Yeah. Do you know when the virtual Magic game released for use? Yes, very soon, very soon. It's like I'm working with a programmer, or actually a team of programmers from South Korea. They've done an amazing job. It's just that the little kinks, the little details need to be worked out still. We're going back and forth on a constant basis, but it's almost finished. It's almost completely finished. Hold on. How often offerings to spirits need to be given after doing evocations for a specific task? How often? I can't give you a clear number on that, my friend. I can't. The more important factor is how clear have you experienced that situation before, you know? Like, there's an actual, like, if there was a formula for, or an equation for strong rituals, it would be this, okay? The clearer you're perceiving the end result, the more likely that it will happen. The more energy you give to the spirit, the more likely it would happen, and the longer you give offerings, the more likely it will happen. Yeah. So these three factors need to come into play. Yeah. So I can't give you a clear number. Obviously, also the harder, or the more the what's the word? The more unlikely the result, the more energy and the clearer you have to perceive it to. Okay. So the equation would be, hold on, clarity of vision, times likelihood, probability. I said clarity of vision times offerings, right? Offerings times yeah, exactly, energy. That would be a formula, okay? I don't know if you can see that. So you got the clarity of the vision times the offerings times the energy in the offerings. That's and that is basically inversely correlated with the probability of the event, okay? So that would be a good formula for that, or a good equation. So the less likely it is, the higher the more clear the vision, the more offerings and the more energy needs to go into the ritual. Yeah. Okay. Any game on sexual manipulation while communicating with someone? I watch all your videos. I know you go over this a lot, but any updated game? Listen, for any game-related stuff, I'm definitely not the best source to look at. Okay, when it comes to game and seduction in general, Arash, AZD, Arash Zapardi Bazaar, is definitely the expert when it comes to that. Anyone who's interested in that, I recommend him. Okay, I'm a magician. I have opinions about that stuff, but I'm not. That's not my expertise. Okay. But when it comes to, let's see, any game on sexual manipulation while communicating, man. Look, the number one thing that you have to understand is that the limitations exist within you for the most part. Any woman out there, I know a lot of guys see women as these I don't know, like non-sexual creatures. A lot of guys actually do that, except for like, I don't know. The point is, any woman is a slut. You can turn her into your slut. Not a problem. You can do any, like, for real. I mean, just like we are nasty, women are as nasty as us, you know, or even more. It doesn't even matter. The point is, you can get a woman to do anything because she wants to do it. Okay, just like you and me as men, we want to have nasty, filthy, messy sex. Women want that too, right? The question is that being triggered in your presence? Okay. So how do you access that? Well, there are like, if you were to see the brain as like this house, the room where there's sex, okay, where the sex happens is next to the room of the imagination. Okay, so you need to use imagination to enter the sex room in her mind. Okay. So when you have conversations with women, the first thing that you have to do is you have to stop being boring, man. You got to start being exciting. That means you got to talk a lot about, you got to trigger her imagination. That's the first thing. Okay? You got to be able to give her an escape from her boring ass life. Okay? Listen, most women that I know want to escape their life because it's fucking boring. Okay, just like most guys lead a boring ass life. It's really like predictable. They know exactly what the day is going to be like, blah blah blah. So when you can give her an escape from that, you're almost there. Okay, and it doesn't have to start sexually, but you just start triggering her imagination. You know, there's a reason why magic is so sexy, or it's associated with sex, because it's about the imagination. It's about all of these fantastic things, you know, gets their imagination going. It's very vague, you know. So that's why it's associated with a lot of sexual energy, you see. So the first thing is, don't be boring and trigger her imagination through your communication, okay? Play games where you're like, where you're vague, you know, or I don't know, ask her questions. What if we went to an island and it's only the two of us? And on that island where it's only the two of us, and whatever happens on this island would never be known by anyone else, right? What if we were there, and what would you bring with you? And what would you be dressed like? And you know, the point is this: use her imagination in your communication, and then it's almost automatic that it goes into sex. Okay, it's almost automatic. Because what was she thinking when you were saying, oh, whatever happens here, no one's ever going to know and you can do whatever you want? Man, I've seen the craziest things happen, man. The craziest things happen. For instance, like, you can also use that in while you're having sex, by the way, right? So one of the things that I like to do is when the sex starts getting boring, because it might, right? What you could do is basically ask her to go deep within herself and bring up all of the stuff that she never allowed herself to experience and live out. And what if she could do that all right now? And what if all of that pent up energy would just be released in this very moment, right? You know, and then you take that energy and link it to a specific trigger or a specific anchor, which is a word or something like that, right? And that word then becomes a trigger for instant orgasms. Okay? Do you get what I said? Do you understand what I just said? I mean, she has everybody, okay? Everybody, based on the morals that we've been taught or whatever, you know? Most people are not capable of actually living out all of their sexual desires. They can't do that, all right? So does she. But all of that stuff is in her subconscious, and it's like this boiling energy that she has in her subconscious. Now, when you can access that, or when you can access that, you can connect that to an anchor. It can be a trigger word, it can be a certain gesture, you know, whatever. Or a certain gaze, you know, a certain way that you look at her. And that's going to be triggered again. And she's going to come like instantaneously. Very, very interesting, right? I mean, there are a lot of things that you can do, but it's all based on the same principle. The communication triggers a certain neurological activity, right? And based on that, you can reprogram the person almost. It's crazy. Yeah. Can an entity overlap your aura? Absolutely it can, yes. Can you point some actions to change status quo? Jolt subconscious. A lot of times, a few things I do. Cold shower, meditation, cyclic breathing, heavy exercise. What else can I do to change? Just learn to use your imagination. Learn to use your imagination. Writing things down could be used for greater clarity. Are there other exercises for greater clarity you could share with us? Yeah, definitely. Just being aware of what's in your circle of control and what's not. You know, and just focusing on that. And then being able to prioritize. Look, I mean, there's this, I've not known that individual, okay? But there was this guy who had, he experienced some brain damage. I forgot what exactly the part of the brain it was, but his ability to, what was that? His ability to create habits was destroyed, okay? Habitual patterns. So every morning when this guy got up, he had to figure out how to tie his shoes, how to put on his pants, and like every little thing that he had to do was like a hard thing that he had to figure out. Us, we do things habitually, okay? The way I put on my pants, I do it the same way every single day. I don't think about, okay, left leg first, right leg first. I do that automatically, just like I do most of my things, okay? Most of the things are done habitually and automatically, okay? We do that so that we can save energy on the decision-making process. There's something called decision fatigue, okay? And if we didn't have that, we would run out of energy by, I don't know, 2 hours after getting up. Because everything is like a new thing to figure out. We only have so much energy in life, okay? So the thing is, I believe the biggest problem that most people have is they don't have algorithms for decision making. So every new thing that comes into their life has to be figured out anew, or most things. Okay, for instance, you go to eat, you go to a restaurant. Okay, the menu is going to be overwhelming because there are so many different things there. So if you decide every single time, or rather, a better way to deal with that would be before you even enter the restaurant, you got to decide, am I going to eat meat today? Am I going to eat pasta? Am I going to eat whatever, pizza? And then once you're in the restaurant, you only look at the part of the menu that has these things in it. Meat, pasta, you know? And then you make a decision within 2 minutes, if that. Just go down, boom. So in a similar way, you should have decision-making processes for all of that, okay? I'm sure you've experienced that in the past when you were, I don't know, some of you guys might have experienced that, okay? But there were so many times when I would argue with my dad, for instance, okay? And I just couldn't understand why he was like, bro, you didn't even think about it. He's like, I would suggest something or something would come up and he's like, no, yes, no. And of course, I don't think he consciously kind of like was aware of what he was doing, but as he grew older, he had rules in his life, right? And a lot of things that we see in society actually exist for a reason, you know? It's basically generations before us figured something out, how it should be done, and then they kept it that way. And oftentimes that's for a reason. But the point is, as you grow older, okay? As of now, I'm 36 years old. I have a little bit of life experience. Of course, it's not that much compared to let's say a 70-year-old, 80-year-old, whatever. But what I do is basically, that's why I analyze my life. That's why I have journals. That's why I journal, and you should do that too. You should have algorithms in your life. You should come up with rules in your life. If I would ask you right now, what are your rules for this? What are your rules for that? Blah, blah, blah. You should be able to tell me why. And you should tell me the rules as well. And if you can do that, you will be able to navigate through life much better. Because you will know, okay, this happens, boom. This will happen, boom. If this, then that. If this, then that. If this, then that. You cannot make you don't have the time and you don't have the energy to think about every single little thing that comes into your life. You got to decide what that is. I mean, one thing that I see commonly is basically a lot of guys try to make something work with a girl. I mean, let's say she's attractive, but there's a red flag, okay? There's a red flag. But she's hot, maybe it's gonna work, maybe it's gonna work. Let me tell you guys, it's a hell yeah or it's a no baby, always, in any area of life, okay? Don't try to make things work that don't make work, that don't really make sense, just because you're like, maybe there's a chance. It's not how life works. You will always be disappointed and things are not gonna work out, all right? So the bottom line is this: you need decision-making processes. You need algorithms. That's nothing else than a decision-making process. If this, then that. If this, then that. If this, then that. And you need that for all things in your life. Okay. I'm starting to have that with my clothes too. Like, seriously, how varied are my clothes? Very not. I mean, there's not a lot of variety. Okay. Most of it is like blue or black blazers and blue or black shirts. That's it. Because I don't want to think about that shit all the time, you know? Just want to make this and that, if this and that, if this and that, and this and that. You know, saves me a lot of time. And yeah, that's what I recommend. You need decision-making algorithms. Makes it easier for you. By the way, this is how any government, any secret service, all of these guys, that's how they work, okay? They have guidelines for every single little thing. They would know exactly what to do. Exactly what to do. If aliens landed on I don't know, the White House lawn tomorrow, they would know exactly the protocol. Okay, they just pull out the fucking instructions. Boom, this is what we do. Step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I recommend you do that too in your life because listen, when shit hits the fan, your decision-making process is crap. It's messed up. Why? Because as humans, we tend to, we tend to think crappy when we're under stress, right? I know my decisions aren't good when I'm under stress. When I'm angry, my decisions are not good when I'm mad or angry. It's just not. That's why I don't make decisions when I'm angry, to the extent that I can. If we're under stress, we don't think clear. So the solution is you think ahead. You got decision-making processes. If this happens, boom, I do this. If this happens, boom, I do that. That's how you have to organize your mind in your life, man. Of course. Of course. Right? Any tips, especially for females? This is really interesting. On how to seduce a man as a female? Wow. That is easier than taking candy from a baby. I promise. I think, that's funny because as much as men are like obsessed with sex and getting women and working on getting women, as much as that is the case, I think women really don't understand how easy it is to have sex with a guy. I think women really don't realize that. It's so funny, man. And any guy here, like, guys, it's come on. How easy is it for a woman to have sex with a man? Not any man, okay? I'm not saying that you're gonna be able to get any man, any guy, but if you are decent looking, okay? What is decent? Well, not retarded, not ugly, not overly obese, but even if you're fat as a woman, you're still gonna be able to fuck most guys that you see, okay? What you have to do is basically just put on some makeup and smile and be friendly, okay? And what you have to do is you have to, don't be too mysterious, okay? Because guys don't get it. What you need to do is just act like a guy, meaning be sexually, what's the word? Aggressive, okay? So tell him, just try it out. Go walk up to a guy and ask him if he wants to have sex with you. You see? And at first he's not gonna he's probably gonna say no because he doesn't believe that this is happening because it's never happened before. But if you insist 5 times, 6 times, let's have sex, come on, let's go. Sooner or later he would have sex with you. That's it. Like for women, it's so easy. It's not even, it's crazy how easy it is. Now, the challenge for women is that they are never satisfied. The challenge for women is that they always want to have what they can't have. I think that's the challenge for women. I'm not a woman, but I suspect that's the challenge. All the guys that want them, they don't want them. You see? So, but sex is definitely not a challenge for a woman. Are you kidding me? Like that's it's ridiculous how easy it is. But you asked that question as a woman, you probably know. You've probably been hit on 4 times today without even realizing it, right? I mean, what do you think that hitting on is? It's not just telling you that hitting on you is not just a guy telling you that he wants to go out with you. It's the 90-year-old grandpa holding the door open for you and smiling at you. Okay? He's hitting on you. Yes, he wants to have sex with you. Yeah. It's I don't know. Most of the guys that are looking at your ass probably you don't even see them. You know. It's the 14-year-old kid. If he could, he would. If you would allow him, he would do it. Yeah. Yeah. That's why my girlfriend has to cover her ass in public. Whenever I'm not with her, she always has to cover her ass with, I don't know, a jacket or something. Are there any downsides to having pacts with many spirits? Not always. Predators. Yeah, I want to be pregnant and also be a superstar athlete. I'm a trans woman. Yeah. Okay. Is there a type of ritual I can do to bless a private business and its community to make it flourish? That would take something like a continuous energy. Like there's not one ritual you can do, but if you do rituals for that on a regular basis, you can definitely help. You can definitely help the success of that business. Yeah. Getting guys to buy drinks is easy too. Yeah. Treat the spirits with respect, and I have only seen good protection. Okay. Okay. Yeah, the reason I did this live is actually to invite people into my order. Okay. Now, once again, the order is opening its doors. If you're reasonably sane, you're not a freak or any of that stuff, you can definitely come into the order. So how do you get there? You message me on Facebook, either through my profile or Instagram, or you could also do that through the Grail fan page, and then we can schedule a call. Have you ever worked with Azazil? Yes, I've worked with Azazil. Yamara, what's up? Hey Frank. Any tips on energy manipulation when looking in the eyes? Looking in the eyes. I don't like the eyes too much because I mean, you can do that in an intimate moment, yes, but I like other energy centers better. Is 29 years old too old to join? 29 years old too old to join. What are you talking about? It would be too old to become a girlfriend of mine, but it's not too old to join my order. Yeah, definitely. Listen, because when you join my order, age is not an issue. No. I recommend to join the order, but you must take it seriously for life. It's not a game. The rewards I cannot put in words. Good night, everyone. Sim rewards. Who are your sim reviews? Are you are you in the order? I meant join the order. Yeah, I know you mean join the order. Sharon. Albert from Sweden. Oh. You're not a member of the order though. Why do you say that? I get it. It's my YouTube account. Okay. Yeah, but you're not a member of the order. Why do you say it though? Why do you say that? I meant the tattoo. Well, the tattoo is not the order. Okay. How does Azazil help you in life? How do I call it? Whatever. How can I join? You join by Sharon. You message me on Facebook or Instagram, or on the Grail of the Serpent fan page, and then we can talk about that. Probably gonna have to schedule a call, and that's it. That's all it's done. Okay, I'll wrap it up now, and I talk to you soon.